It's just boom, boom, tap, tap.
And good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner here on the Highline Activity Network on this, now it's going to be dark when I come in on these Thursday mornings. I don't know if I can handle darkness at 7 o'clock in the morning, but that's all right. We are going to kick things off. Student Congress is off and running. They've had their first meet, and we're joined by a couple of members of the Highliner Student Congress. Junior Carter Haas.
That's it.
All right, I got it right after you corrected me. After you correct me, and Senior Ada Gilbertson. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good. It's a nice morning out.
It's a brisk walk over here, a little brisk day here, but it is fall. Well, let's start out with, I guess, first off, the first meet of the season. Who wants to take? How did things go for you?
The first meet of the season went pretty good. We have a bunch of new students trying Student Congress this year, so it was a meet for us to learn and to just get them into the chambers and see like how it was going. So we had a good meet. We gave a bunch of speeches, and I think it was a good first meet to try things out.
Do they get nervous, those young ones that are first doing it? Is that kind of an intimidating situation?
Yes, we have to, a lot of times during practice, we have to tell them, like, go over orders and procedures and, like, just make them feel comfortable with, like, being able to speak in front of so many people.
Right.
And that can be a hard challenge to overcome, but they did a really good job at East Congress this year.
Well, I'll ask you both the same question then. Let's see your first time. How long have you been in Student Congress?
I joined Student Congress my freshman year, so this will be my...
Fourth year, right?
Yep.
What was it like that first year for you?
It was a bit scary for me because I joined a little bit late in the game. Usually you join in 7th grade, but I joined my freshman year, and it was a little scary at first, but I have overcome a lot of things, and I've been doing great, and I'm very proud of how far I've come.
How about you, Carter? When did you start in 7th grade?
Yeah, I started in 7th grade, and I've been in it now until my junior year, and it's been going really good, but your first meet is always the scariest, no matter what grade you're in, because you're going up in front of a big room of people. You've grown up with them in the event, because the chambers are separated to where you're with kind of the same kids based on your levels of experience and how well you do. And once you're, in the Senate, when I'm in the Senate, you're facing these kids who are just really good. So every time you get your first speech in, you're just shaking a little bit, but you get nervous, and then you just kind of start loving it. You start playing the game, and it's a lot of fun in the end.
How different is this to speech? I mean, obviously, Student Congress, you're dealing with political stuff. Speech is a lot of different kinds of topics. So is it a different way of speaking?
So Congress is like parliamentary debate.
Yeah, okay.
So when you go up with people, you're getting ranked and judged on your speeches and then a bit of questioning within them. But really Congress, while it is about speaking, there's also a lot of parliamentary procedure, speaking order that you have to learn how to do so you know who speaks next. And the most speeches gets more points, and with more points, you can win. And then it's just all about the essence of debate and taking on legislation, whether or not it's good or bad, and bringing forth good arguments and then convincing the judge that you win today's debate because blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Yeah.
With you, Ada, which do you like better? Because you do speech as well. Which one do you like the most?
It's hard for me because I do really enjoy both. For me, speech has always been a bit more near to my heart because that's what I started out with, but Student Congress has found its way. Like, it is such a fun sport or fun activity, and you do learn lots of things, and you make friendships with so many people as you grow up with these people in this event. And it's really nice to just be able to interact with different people from different schools and meet people with different interests, and it's a fun way to bond.
I'm going to guess Student Congress for you. What is it, though? Which two, of those two?
It has to be Student Congress for me. As much as I love speech and as fun as it is, Congress is just like, you're getting out there, you're debating, you're speaking, and you're showing the room, you're showing the judge, here's what I've learned, here's what I can do, let's take these arguments head on and win the debate. So,
are you writing any legislation?
This year we will, towards the end, after state, we'll write it in and then submit it so that entire state, all the schools can vote on it for next year's docket. I plan on maybe writing a resolution for another constitutional convention, or there is one with dispatchers and being considered first responders. I know my sister has told me a lot about that, so I could work on that.
Okay. How about you? Are you going to do anything like that?
Yeah, I'll probably write some legislation up and submit it just for next year's students so they have something to debate.
Sure. Okay. Now let's think. We got a new coach this year, the first year coach. How's that? Sean, I believe. How's things going there?
Sean has been wonderful. She's really open to learning new things, and she's just been great. She's been very flexible with practices, and she kind of asked us up front like how things have been run before so she can match that and be even better. And she's just been a very great coach so far, and she's been very positive and trying to keep us pumped up and energetic for season.
And as a fourth year member for yourself, and I'd have to do my math in my head, 5 years for you, you guys kind of taking some leadership roles maybe because you got a new coach and helping along there?
Yeah, the first thing Sean said to me when I met her was, "Do you know Mrs. Hyde?" And Mrs. Hyde is the head of the state for Congress and just kind of on that upper level kind of running with the NDHSA and whatnot, and C-STAN. Well, Mrs. Hyde and me have known each other for a while. We went to nationals together, and she said, "Mrs. Hyde told me to tell you to step up. You're a veteran and you got to lead." And I'm like, "Oh, well, okay." And then, of course, Ada was there being a captain and doing a phenomenal job helping with everything. And she's just, I don't know what I'd do without Ada. I mean, helping those kids because I cannot reach them as well as she can. But no, I'm a two-time national qualifier. I went up and I told them how to debate, how to be Congress kids. And then we started learning how to play the game, and it's been going pretty good. Sean is awesome.
You're intimidating. That's why. We had the soft-spoken little Ada over here, and then there's you. I mean, but it's a great mix. I mean, you guys, you would make a perfect team. Let's talk about what's up next now for Student Congress. What's coming up?
So our next meet is West Congress, and it will be on October 14th, and it will be in Mandan. So we're currently right now writing our speeches for that and trying to get our students more comfortable with speaking, and we're into practice now a lot more. So
and what do you know what you're writing yet? You got an idea what you're doing?
Yeah, so 5 pieces of legislation each meet. Ideally, if you want to get into speaking order and get the most in, you should have a speech written for each case, so each side. That's about 10 speeches. So I'm ready to do that, but we're really trying to get the kids to, like she said, speak and get up there, get comfortable with it, and just kind of take on West with an idea. You know what's going on, you know about speaking order, you know how to get your speeches in. Let's practice our speeches in practice. Let's do a little bit of mock debate, and then let's go into West and show them what Valley City is and what we can do. And they know debate, they know how to flow arguments. If they can go in there and just speak their hearts out, they're going to do so well. And we're so ready for them. Like they're doing amazing. And
speech probably starts later in the year. Does that kind of go after the first of the year, right after the new year?
So usually, if our coach in the past, I don't know how it worked this year since we have a new coaching staff, but in the past they've let us come in and just take a peek at different like scripts we can look at for speech and maybe a little bit before Christmas break, but then the speech action really starts after Christmas break in January, and then we usually have our first meet in the late parts of January, so we'll be looking forward to that soon as well.
It's going to be here before you know it. We're already it's only 2 months away, 2.5 months before Christmas break. Yeah, we're already counting Christmas break. Yeah, I'm counting Christmas break down. Well, so we got Mandan coming up here in a week and a half is your next meet. Excited though, getting the season going, Carter, just kind of getting going again?
I mean, for me, it's just like, I went to Nats and I learned so much, and I've been working a lot with Equality and Forensics, which is kind of it's a program put together by past nationals kids and judges, just national champions that want to make equal level, no pay coaching accessible to more people. And if it weren't for them, really, I wouldn't be able to teach these kids what I know and to be successful. So going into Senate, the highest level of competition, it's just so nice to be able to step up and like show them this is how we do it in other places. And debate has just been so fun. I mean, you get to speak with a national tone, put out your arguments in that way, and the judges are loving it. So I'm just really excited for my kids to do it and for everyone to have fun with it.
And as your senior year, this is your last hurrah too, and in everything. I mean, whether it's dance or everything like that. Kind of excited for that senior year, Ada?
Yeah, I'm very excited. My motto this year has been to just leave it all out on the floor, no matter whether it's the dance floor, if it's on the Congress floor or the speech, and I'm just very excited to give it my all and to see what happens.
Well, we'll talk to you probably once we get into the highlights and get into the dance season. We'll have to have you on too, talking about that as well. But so next 10 days away, let's see, 11 days away is the meet out in Mandan. And guys, good luck to you. Appreciate you joining us here this morning and getting up bright and early. Now you're in school early. You like that, don't you? You know, hey, we're here already. It's a weird feeling, isn't it? Yeah. Now you know what happens when you're at the school before 7 o'clock in the morning. But guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll look forward to talking to you here in a couple of weeks, maybe after that next meet, and as we get into the speech season and dance season. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You bet. That is Carter Hass along with Ada Gilbertson from Highlander Student Congress. We're back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner here on the Highlander Activity Network on this Thursday morning, and we head into the tennis season, the boys' tennis season. Slowly but surely winding down. Team is done. Individuals coming up. Matt Nielsen joining us from the Highlander tennis team. How you doing this morning?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, a brisk morning walk here today.
Finally feels like fall.
It does finally feel like fall. Well, Monday we had a play-in match in the EDC with West Fargo, and you know, you set up that lineup that you felt was your best one. It's just a tight match with the Packers.
No, a very tight match with the Packers, and we set up our lineup. We actually dropped Miles Taylor into the doubles, and then we went to our 2, 3, 4 in singles, because you have to have one of the singles to win the match, because you have 3 singles and 2 doubles matches. So we went by dropping Miles down, because he was 0-2 against West Fargo's number 1 on the year. So we said, you know what, let's drop Miles down, and we actually put Miles with our number 8 with Matthew Holm at number 1 doubles. And then our numbers 5 and 6 with Noah Tulp and Cole Haugen at number 2 doubles. And we're like, all right, if we line them up like this, we think we have a good shot of snagging those. And then Quinn beat West Fargo's number 3 in the regular season. Kellen beat their number 4 in the regular season. So we said we had to roll the dice, and because if we went 1, 2, 3, the doubles would be tough. And the doubles were tough anyway. The 2 doubles, we won 6-3, 6-2 at 2 doubles. That was a little closer than what the score said, and at 1 doubles, we were actually down 3-0 in the second set. Came back and won that in a tiebreak. So I mean, we barely won those matches, so that tells us we have the right doubles. And in the singles, it was Kellen had a tight first set, and then Quinn in the first set was actually up 4-0 because his opponent couldn't figure out to win those first 4 games. So like Quinn did what he's supposed to do, and he let his opponent kind of beat himself those first 4 games, but his opponent kind of figured out how to play in the wind, and we couldn't pull off either one of those matches, which then means our team season is done.
Right.
But tomorrow we go and play individual, so there's a seeding meeting tonight about our singles and doubles draws. So hopefully we can get Miles Taylor and Cole Haugen. They're going to play doubles together. Hopefully we can get them a seed somewhere like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hopefully just get a number by your name, because that makes your life a little easier come the tournament. So hopefully we can do that, and then plays Friday, and if you don't lose twice on Friday, you get to keep playing Saturday.
And is it a win 2 before you lose 2 type of scenario?
No, it's doubles and singles are different, because there's 20 in the doubles bracket, and there's 30 in the singles bracket. So in both brackets, though, the top 8 go to state. So in the singles, technically, if you just win 3 in a row, you're in the you're in the semifinals, and you've already state qualified. But if you lose one of your first 2 matches in singles, you have to go through the back draw, and you have 4 matches on Friday. Okay. And then you have to win 3 of those, and still have to win 1 more on Saturday morning to go to state. So it's you got to win a lot to get to the singles state tournament.
It makes it a little more prestigious if you do make the singles tournament because you have to win so much.
Because you got to win, yeah. You have to be top 8 out of 30. Where
Yeah.
in doubles you got to be top 8 out of 20. So yep, I'd agree with you that to make that singles draw, and for some reason the boys, they like the singles more most of the time. But so Kellen this year said I wanted to play some singles. So Kellen Westman will be in the singles draw along with Quinn Kruger, and then Matthew Holm will be in the singles draw. And like I said, Miles Taylor and Cole Haugen will be one of our doubles team, and our other doubles team will be Noah Tulp and Colin Hoff. Those are two friends that wanted to play together, and I said it's individual tournament, so as long as everybody's happy with where they are, then we're okay with what you decide.
You mentioned the wind in that match with West Fargo. This was probably the windiest day you guys had this year, wasn't it?
It was pretty windy, and the West Fargo coach goes, "Oh man, I think this is the windiest we've ever played in." And I go, "Well, you haven't been coaching long then." So, and it's only a second or third year, and I go, "Yeah, it's up there in one of the windiest." And as like I said, it did play to our favor a little bit at that 2 singles, but then because we've always talked about, okay, how do you play in the wind? And one way is that you hit hard and you cut through that wind if you believe in your strokes. The number 2 from West Fargo didn't in those first 4 games, but then he started hitting his shots, and I'm like, well, we got to figure out a way to win, and we had our shots. I mean, Kellen had his shots, and Quinn has his shots, and it's one of those where, I mean, we've been on the wrong side of a one-match loss now, I think 6 times this season, and we got 1 win on the season. But next week when I come in, I'll hopefully have good news that we're going to state. But whenever our season ends, I'll come in with a final recap of like, hey, how did we compare to last year? Because I know looking at it that their wins are way up. And something else that happened on Saturdays, we had the JV invite. We had a lot of wins all over the place in the JV invite, which is pretty cool. Beck Dietrich at 1 singles won 2 matches at 1 singles, which was pretty great. But then Greg Kosowski goes through the draw and he medals and takes 2nd place at 2 singles. So like I said, we have some young ones that are doing well and coming up, and those 2 proved it on that day.
7th graders, right?
7th graders, yeah. So they proved it on that day, and they're going to be hungry. And we only graduate Miles Taylor for next year, but we have at least 2 kids that are going to be chomping on those varsity players' heels of, hey, you guys better buck up because we're coming.
Your spot's not guaranteed.
Nope, not guaranteed. So if got to keep working hard to make sure that you get your spot, and 2, you help the team out when you're on the court.
Perfect. Well, Coach, appreciate it. Yeah, let's hope next week we're talking about some kids that will be moving on. Is it in Grand Forks or Fargo, the East region here?
So the East region's going to be in Fargo. So the doubles will be inside at Courts Plus tomorrow, and the singles will be outside at Discovery and then at Cheyenne. And then looking forward to the state tournament. It is in Grand Forks again this year. Okay.
Well, let's hope we got some kids going to Grand Forks next week when we check.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. That is Coach Matt Nielsen from Highlander Tennis, back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here at Coach's Corner here on the Highlander Activity Network, and we move into volleyball, and volleyball team doing pretty well. Back at 500 in the conference play, 11-5 overall, moving to the middle of the pack in the EDC. We're joined by Coach Cynthia Clabo and Senior Jovi Borg. How you guys doing this morning? Have you come down a little bit from Tuesday night?
I don't know.
I'm still up.
Yeah, we had a great practice
fun.
yesterday. The gym was just electric, I felt like yesterday, so hopefully keep that up tonight.
Well, I told someone beforehand, you guys not played 5 sets yet this year. That was South's 3rd in a row that they had, and they had split those. But I said, tonight just feels like could be a 5-setter. I don't know why. And this is before it even started. When you get into 5-set matches, Jovi, does your mindset go a little bit different or not?
It's only to 15 in the 5th set, so I'm just like start off hard and get those first couple points on to give us some momentum going on in the set.
Well, you look at your front row this year, too, and then Cynthia, I'll have you answer this, too, but you guys really are balanced, with yourself, with Ava, and with Katie, and then, Bailey's done a great job up front along with Dakota. Do you like the way that how balanced you guys are up in that front row?
Yeah, I think we all have really good hitters in every single one of our spots, so our front row is pretty strong.
And you get a different setter too. You got with Bryn and Kinley. How do you feel those two youngins are doing in that setting department?
I think they're doing really good. You know, Kinley's been a setter 2 years ago. She was a libero last year, and she's done a really good job going back to setting again this year. And Bryn's been setting for us also 2 years.
This is their second year.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And so they both just do a really good job. And the connections of their hitters are really good.
Well, going back to that front row, Coach, you really have a good front row, not only offensively but defensively as well with this team. And that seems it really has helped you pick up some wins with the balance that you have with that front row.
Yeah, we have some team goals every night, and we hit them quite often. And yesterday, or actually on Thursday, Tuesday, we went 5 sets, and I was like, man, we're going to hand out a whole bunch of volleyballs tonight, and we didn't hand out as many as I thought because we shared the ball so much, which is awesome, right? That's what it's supposed to be, is the team effort, and we talked about that yesterday by, faking and make sure you keep your blocker with you, and that's the most unselfish thing you can do, is to keep that blocker with you, knowing you're not getting the ball, but your teammate's getting the ball because your ultimate goal is to get your team to win, right? So that was I don't know, I feel like an eye-opening thing yesterday, possibly.
Sure. Yeah. And I know that in sports you hear double-doubles. Well, I think we had 4 athletes that had double-doubles, and like yourself and Katie in kills and digs, and Bryn and Kinley in assists and digs.
Right.
And defense, let's talk about that defense. Your back row has really done a phenomenal job, it seems like, this year.
Yeah, how many digs did you get on Tuesday? 20?
I think
You had 29?
29?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was out for a walk with my husband last night, and I'm like, I don't ever yell at anybody, but I yelled at Jovi on Tuesday because I was like, nice defense! I was so pumped. I think you had like 7 digs in one rally.
Yeah.
I felt like it was awesome. So.
And how big is that? I mean, getting that to get those digs and get that initial pass.
Huge. If you can get that 3 pass right away, you're almost guaranteed to get like a kill, if not a kill, at least a good attempt to get them out of system.
Yeah.
Now, when you with kills, Jovi, you have your winding up and going as hard as you can, but then you have the ones where you maybe tip it. Is that a strategic thing? You're looking at your blocker because after the match gets going, you know who's going to be in front of you. Is that something you think about too? Is like, okay, which way am I going to go if I get this set?
It definitely is. So depending on like how the past couple of hits have going, if like a certain spot's working, you're gonna keep on going there. If it's not, you might change it up, go cross a bit or go line. And then if that's still not even working, well then you're gonna look at like maybe what their tendencies are as defense and put it in a spot, like tip it or roll shot it to like a corner or like the 4 spot. Like
Right.
you're just changing up your shots.
What's more fun for you, winding up and taking a whack at it or a little tip?
I definitely like to hit at it.
You like to whack at it, give it that attack.
Yeah.
And is it tough too? I'll ask you let's say you're on the I don't know the terminology as well, but let's see if you're looking at the front where you'd be the left side.
Yep.
Hitting it straight down the line, is that a little more difficult to make sure you get it on the right side of the antenna than if you're going to go cross court?
I don't necessarily. Honestly, I feel like it just depends on how you're approaching like.
And the set, how it's
Yeah,
going.
how the set's coming too.
So
Okay.
depending on your set is what you're going to hit. So like a line, like a set for a line, we call. I'm not gonna tell what to call it. A set for a line, is a little bit more pushed out, hopefully to give you that opportunity to hit down the line. Whereas like cross might be a little bit farther in.
Okay.
And then we can, as an outside, I can also run some like quicker sets, maybe more towards the middle, give me more of a harder cut that I could hit to like to the right of me versus left.
Well, serve receive is so important. When we got into this rally scoring, how many ever years ago it's been. Do you have a percentage, coach? Are you like, well, I want to be around 93, 94%? Granted, you want to be 100%. You don't want to give away any points at the service line. But is there a number that okay, that was a good night at the service line?
Like
Like
service
a percentage
or serve receive?
Serve receive, either way. Serve receive. If you're serving, you say, oh, I want to hit 90%. Do you even look
I
at
want
that?
100.
Yeah.
Missing serves just that I think makes me the most mad. Hitting out, at least, you went for it, right?
Yeah.
But missing a serve is kind of like, come on. Unless you've done like 5, 6 in a row, and now you're going for like a legit spot and serving hard. Okay, right?
Right.
But man, we're varsity. Let's not miss serves. You might as well just like toss the ball under the net and give it to them. I don't know.
Because that's giving away points.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that's like, okay, here's 7 points if you had 7 errors. Here you go, folks.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
No, serve receive also is huge. If you get that first pass,
Yeah.
again, you're like on the offense then, right?
Yeah.
So.
And when you serve, do you take a little something off? Let's say you hit a serve and you zing it, but you went long. Okay, now I got to take a little something off your serve. Is there any kind of a mindset with you when you're at the service line, Joey?
So most of the time, I know how it should feel when it comes off my hand, and like if I miss my serve and it goes out, I'm like, well, maybe I hit it a little bit behind my head or something like that, or my toss wasn't high enough. Like I know those kinds of things that, like if I miss my serve, I know why I missed my serve, but I like to spot serve, so I kind of have my way that I serve towards each different spot, because serving at a different spot in the court, you're changing how you're turning your hand or where you're contacting the ball.
Okay. I don't want to give away any secrets now because, Fargo North might be watching. I doubt that. If they're watching, then we have issues. No. Speaking of Fargo North, tonight on the road against the Spartans, and a big match. You're right there with them in the middle of the pack in the EDC. What do you see with Fargo North?
I mean, it's very doable. If we play our game, it's very doable. I think we're matched up pretty well. Same as I thought we were matched up pretty well with South. So I think it's going to be a great match. I'm excited.
I think there was a young lady named Skalicki that had been there forever, and I think she's graduated now, so maybe we're because she was a setter, a hitter, she did a little bit of everything. But you look at the way this team is played right now, Coach, 5-5 in the EDC, 11-5 overall. You've got to be just ecstatic of the way they've competed and just the kind of year that this group has had so far.
Yeah, they're a great group. I mean, not just on the court, but off the court. Like, they're just a fun group to be with, and you can have a conversation with any of them, and it's just really fun.
And you're one of the 3 seniors, along with Bailey and Ava. Did you take a little bit of that leadership role, too, this year, coming in as a senior? But there's not a lot of young players. I mean, you're an experienced team. Or did you feel we're all a bunch of leaders, every one of us?
I feel like we're all kind of a bunch of leaders. There's times where I try and pick us up a little bit, but everyone, there's been other players that have been on varsity for long, and so I feel like we all do a good job just, taking leadership as a team.
So we're going to have a team plane, and she can be the pilot done before the season's over?
Yeah. Where are we going to go? Yeah.
You can take that team plane, go somewhere. But Fargo North coming up tonight, 7 o'clock, the varsity starts, and I believe Fargo North does have a YouTube channel. So, folks, I'd go to Fargo. Go fill up the Spartan Dome a little bit, and let's get these young ladies a victory tonight. But if not, you can go to YouTube, and Fargo North does have a YouTube channel, and you can watch it. But, guys, congratulations so far. Halfway through, because I think we're getting into that second half of the conference season, and good luck tonight with the Spartans. Appreciate it. Joey Borg and Cynthia Clable joining us from Highlander Volleyball. We'll be back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner, here on the Highlander Activity Network, and we are cruising into cross-country season. Boy, getting down there. We had the border battle up in Grand Forks this past week. What, 2,000 runners, Coach, at the border battle?
Yeah, a minimum of 2,000. Yeah, there was a lot of kids there.
But they broke it up, and you broke it up into grades, varsity, junior varsity, and then 7th, 8th. Did the kids like that running when they were running kind of in their own grade, in their own group?
I think it's fun for them once in a while to do that, at least kind of see where they're at. But there was such a variety of kids that were there. Like for the junior high, the 7th and 8th graders, there was a right around 100 for each race, and they did really well. And I think they like seeing, okay, they're the same grade as I am. Let's see what's going to happen here.
Okay. And I think Garrett Govan took 5th in the 7th?
Yeah, he got 5th out of 110 runners. And then we had a pair of girls, 32 and 34 out of 93 runners. So, yeah, they represented really well.
And I think Emma Trapp was 6th grade, got a chance to run in the 6th grade race.
Yeah, and I don't know how many were in there, but she got 19th, so she got to be put up on, because after each race, they bring the top 20 up on the stage.
Okay.
And so, yeah, she was pretty pumped. She got to run that, and then that was the first race of the day. And then she got to go up on the stage and be recognized as one of the top 20, so.
Get used to it, Emma.
Yeah.
Get used to being up there on
Yeah,
the
she likes
stage.
to run.
Good. And overall, though, how did you feel as far as all of the kids running, how they did this past week?
They ran really well. They stepped up. It was another really warm day. It was really hot out there. And with 11 races, that's a long wait. We got up there about 10:30, and my JV girls didn't run till 4 o'clock. So that's a long wait. And it was kind of amazing because those JV girls, that was the first time they had run a 5K, and all of them just rocked it. They ran really well for that long a time, and stuff like that. But I was really impressed with those 5 that ran that.
And I chatted with I'm trying to think Garrett moved up to 4,000, or what did they do? Because in the 7th grade it was 3,000.
3,000, yeah. I let him. I told him that was his last 3K he was going to run for the season, because now that he's done with football, I said, well, we'll get you. He's under a 20-minute 5K for a 7th grade boy. That's huge.
Yeah.
And so today he'll run the 5K. I have a number of kids running the 5K today, and just to get some times on them, to see if they're ready to run at state, because that's our ultimate goal, is to be on that state team.
And that's you got 2 weeks, I think, until state comes up.
28th. It's
so
quite,
3.
Yeah.
It's still about a month away.
Yeah.
So plenty of time here. So what's coming up tonight? Where are you guys at tonight?
We travel to Holly, Minnesota.
That's right.
This we've never been to this meet before, but we thought it'd be a fun one to go to. And rumor has it is really hilly.
Yeah, it is.
But that's okay. We're okay with that, because that's between that and the wind today. Those are things we can't control. So. There's, I think I looked last night, there was 25 teams.
Okay.
And then there are 4 or 5 North Dakota teams. So, it's fun for the kids to see different faces at the starting line and throughout the race, just to get a variety.
I had my best round of golf of my life on that golf course.
Oh, nice.
So I had, that's where my father is from, is Holly. So I know that golf course. And yes, it is hilly, but very, very pretty this time of year when you get out there. And really, when you get into Minnesota, you're getting a race where you're not going to see a lot of North Dakota, you're seeing a lot of different runners. What's the mindset for the kids? They're just going out there and getting a chance to run against someone different. Right,
and they step to the line always wanting to beat themselves. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, everybody wants to win a race, but when there's 170 kids in a race, only one person wins.
Yeah.
And so it's basically a test against themselves. There's, kids around you that I want to get in front of that one, and I want to get in front of that one, which is kind of nice. But again, they're always trying to better their own time or better their own experience on the course.
Yeah. And it's not a case where they research like, okay, this runner's really good, or this runner, they don't really worry about that. That's not a worry of theirs, is it?
Some of the older runners will see some of them, they'll go, oh good, there's so-and-so there because, I can try to beat them, or, some of the older experienced ones, or, even the younger ones, they recognize faces. It's like, okay, that one I watched for most of the race. This time I'm going to try to make them watch us.
Right.
Something like that. But mostly they just look at the course and they figure out how they're going to attack the hills and the downhills and stuff, because the downhills can be just as challenging as the uphills. But they'll look at the course and then they go out and race their best, whatever they have on that given day.
The clock and the course are all they're competing against, really.
Right. Right.
Not so much of the other runners, but those are the two factors that are what they're thinking about.
Exactly.
So, of your runners, boys and girls, who really you feel strives in a hilly environment like you're going to have today?
I don't know. They're all pretty strong with them because we do hills at least once a week, and then just in a natural run, we
Right.
do have the hills, the inclines. We call a lot of them inclines because they're not real hills, but they just gradually go up. But they face them almost every day. We're pretty fortunate as runners to be here.
Sure.
And then we've also trained the other day when it was 100-mile-an-hour winds, which is good for training, but we don't want to compete in that. But that was a great training day for us when some of my younger ones almost didn't even move when they were running. Because the wind, but, it just makes them stronger.
EDC coming up here in a couple of weeks, too?
Yes, a week from Saturday, we have
Okay.
our EDC. We go back to Grand Forks, and it's kind of nice because a lot of our kids love that course after being there with the border battle, and we've been up there for a couple years now with our EDC, and they really like that course. And Grand Forks does a great job hosting a meet. They really like to, and that is top quality when you go to Grand Forks.
Lincoln Park?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's where they have it up there. It's so it's getting down there. Not a whole lot of time left in the cross country season.
Yeah, just today, and then a week from today, we get a whole week of training.
Okay.
They'll have tomorrow off. I'm giving them a break after going 11 days and 12. They've put in a lot of time. And then next week is EDC, and then we have, right after that, we have an ACDC challenge.
Okay.
It's an autumn
Yep.
classic. It's not the band.
Oh.
But we run, it's kind of a fun wind down for some of the kids because
Right.
EDC gets, it's intense, and it's a conference meet, and, you want to do really well. And the last one is a 4K. They put all the girls on the line, or the boys on the line, and they all run a 4K, whether you're a 7th grader or a senior. Everybody just runs it. And then they put all the girls, and then they have some fun little prizes and stuff like that for kids. And then a lot of the kids that aren't going to state, that's their last meet. So it's
Okay.
kind of a fun event for them.
Okay.
And then state is at the end of the month,
Okay. 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. What time today in Holly?
4 o'clock.
Okay, 4 o'clock today. Plenty of time to get to Holly. It takes about an hour to get there, maybe a little
And
over an hour.
there's 4 races.
Okay.
It'll be the boys 3K, girls 3K, boys 5K, girls 5K. Have to
Okay.
remember from race to race or
What's
place to
going on?
place because
What's going on?
yeah, it's different all the time.
All right.
But-
Well, that'll be at the Holly Country Club. Just after you go onto the underpass, it's right there on the left-hand side of the road as you head on Highway 10.
All right.
Right-hand side of the road. I'm sorry.
Yes.
But head to Holly and watch the Highlander runners again today in Holly at the Holly Country Club. Coach, appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again next
Okay.
week.
Thank you.
Coach Deb Bilkey joining us from the Highlander cross country team. We're back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner here on the Highlander Activity Network, and the Highlander football team is home again here on Friday night, and we're joined by Coach Travis Engen of the Highlanders. How you doing, Coach?
Good, doing good.
Boy, a couple of nice W's here. You've had a happy homecoming and ruined someone else's homecoming here the last couple of weeks.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, it was nice to get some wins. There's
Well,
no
it's
doubt about it.
Fargo South matchup. Boy, the team played well on both sides of the football against the Bruins.
Yeah, they did. They came ready to play, and we played aggressive, and it showed, right? And that's what I told the kids. I said, when we can play aggressive and take the fight to them, we got a fighting chance, right, against any team that we're going against. And so they showed that. And then, of course, the challenge against Jamestown being a rival and everything else, it was another big challenge for us. And, we talk about winning each battle and winning the quarters and winning the games and stuff like that. And We did good because we got the victories. You know, when you look at the stats and stuff against Jamestown, they beat us in every statistical category there was, but the score. You know, and that's football, right? It's usually 4 or 5 plays that people don't normally see. They might talk about the blocked field goal, which was great. Don't get me wrong, but it's the 4 or 5 plays that led up to that, and so it was a great team effort. It really was. Our defense shined. They did a really nice job, and our offense did just enough.
Yeah,
you know, really is what it did. It was a tough game. There's no doubt about it.
You guys have had high-scoring games, and now you saw you can win a defensive battle
Right.
as a coach too. And you like to see, hey, we can win whether it's a shootout or a defensive battle.
Yeah, and you know, I've told the kids since day one, with the way the schedule is for us, it's every battle, right? There's not an easy game on our schedule. We're never going to get a 30-point lead and say, okay, good, we can coast. I said it's going to be 4 quarters, regardless of who we play. And I think they're buying into that. They're learning. Yep, it's 4 quarters. It's not the end of the world. If we're winning by 7 or down by 7, it's not the end of the world. And that's a learned process by kids, right? They got to understand that being down 7-0, 10-0 does not mean that the game is over. You know, Jamestown was inside our 20 way too many times, right?
Yeah.
And they came up big.
Yep.
And that's a sign that I really liked. I told them after the game, I said, that was a beautiful symphony, right? You know, you guys came up clutch, and that's a sign of a good team that they didn't quit, didn't give up, and you know they were inside our 5 there with first down, and I'm like, okay, here we go, and it was really nice to see all 11 show up. You know, it really was.
They had a couple, I think, first and goals, and came away with 0.
Yeah. Like I said, you know, when our 11 guys run our defense, it's fun to watch. And they're at the point now, you know, we're 5 games in, and what a lot of people don't know is a lot of our guys, that's really 10 games in because they're playing both ways. Right? And that can be a positive at times because they'll understand, okay, all right, this is how the game goes and everything. But right now, when they were inside our 5 a few times, first and goal and stuff, but they all 11, they don't think anymore, right? That's the good news about it. They've been in these tough games. They don't have to think, they just do. And that's what showed up, right? There was no thinking by them, and they could just play football.
And I think in those low-scoring defensive battles, I think it was Keith Jackson always called them the big uglies. The ones down below, the guys in the trenches did their thing. Yeah,
you take a look, you know, what people don't notice is the Trey McPartland, Scott Rohde's, Brant Mueller's, Ryer Muskies. These guys play both ways. And like I said, they're 10 games into this season because they're playing both ways, and let alone practices, you know, and we talk about attrition and getting young guys in and stuff, and but then we deal with some injuries. I mean, you take a look at Jack Dieterle, who was going to be our tight end. Sorry, you got moved down to right tackle, and he did it, not blinking an eye. Okay, this is what's best for the team. I'm sure, and I told him, I'm sure at home he's going home going, what? But he's done a great job, you know, and then with the injury to Owen Hunt, you know, we had to take our right tackle, move him to center, and, okay, you're snapping now. I know you've never did it in your life, but here we go. And they took it with a grain of salt and said, this is what we're going to do. And so, those old linemen and D linemen, they deserve a lot of credit. And you know, all of a sudden, if you see Bryson taking off running, what is going on with the old line? Well, that's probably their 80th play of the game. You know, or whatever it is. And so people got to understand it's an attrition battle where we're playing teams that are going to bring 75, 80 kids, and we got our 33. You know, and everybody's got injuries. Okay, so I got 5 guys out. Oh, that puts me down, you know, to a lot less. 5 guys. If I got 80 and I got 5 guys out, no big deal. Losing 5 for me is, okay, here we go. You know,
the next man up is vitally important.
Yeah, it really is. And kids have stepped up. You know, they really have. Hunter Undum has stepped up. Leighton Hendrickson has stepped up. Jackson Greshik has stepped up. And they get some playing time. And when they do, they do a good job. And so it's been nice to see that.
And then that'll just help them down the road that they see the speed of that varsity game.
Yeah. And they learned real quick, right? Those first 3 games, you know, we didn't give our best effort. And they went, oh, okay. And so then you face a couple other teams, and most people on paper probably thought we couldn't beat them. But they figured out the game.
Yeah.
and they understand, and they go, okay, this is the speed we got to go every single play. And when they do, it's a fun team to watch. Yeah, that game against Jamestown, 10-9, maybe people thought it was like, what is going on? But yeah, to me, I loved it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it was fun watching our O-line, D-line do their thing and stuff like that. And it was. I told them it was going to be a 4-quarter battle. And so is the next 4 games, of our regular season. There's not going to be an easy game ever. So.
You win is a win. It doesn't matter if it's pretty or ugly.
Exactly.
As long as you have more
right.
points than the other team when you walk off the field, it's good for you.
Yeah, I'll take that game every day of the week. Give me the W. They can have all the other stats.
They can have the stats all they want. I just want the W.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the Saints coming to town. The Saints come marching in. Now, this is a team that likes to throw the ball.
Yeah, they do. They do a nice job. They're aggressive, right? And so it's a different challenge, right? Jamestown was really fast. They had team speed. And not that they weren't aggressive. They were, but it's just a little different team. And they've been in battles, right? They knocked off South last second. They went to double overtime with a very good Minot North team. And so they're battle tested too. And so they are aggressive. They do like to throw the football. And the quarterback gets it out real quick. And so that's something we've been working on quite a bit this week, and I like our game plan going in against them. But it's going to come down to, are we aggressive?
Yeah.
And we're each so-called going to punch each other.
Yeah.
And which one can withstand it, get back up, go after each other again. And this game is going to be kind of like our last 2 games.
Right.
It's not going to be pretty, so to speak, but it's going to be a great battle. It really is.
Let's see who bloodies whose nose first.
Yeah, basically. and our kids have understood that too, right? When we were up on South, and I said, this game is not over. And, of course, the first 3 minutes of the third quarter didn't go our way.
Yeah.
And they went, oh, okay. And so it was nice to see that, all right, they punched us back.
Yeah.
And we were okay with that. And so those are battle tested. Sometimes you got to experience that stuff to truly understand it. So we got to go into this game just being aggressive, and we talk about different challenges this week. And yeah, one big challenge is our defense has got to stop their pass.
Yeah.
We got to stop their pass, and because they won't leave the pass, even if they're not having success, they're coming right back with it. They're not going to all of a sudden just say, okay, let's go with power I and run the ball. They're a passing team, and then that's fine. And so that's what they live with, and so we got to stop it.
There'll be a little pressure on the guys. And this is just do your thing, run your gap, do what you got to do. Worry about your job, not the other guys, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, and that's really what we've kind of, for lack of better words, pounded into them. It's just do your job, right? It's old Al Davis. It's just do your job. That's been carried down to Parcells and Belichick, and I think Belichick gets a lot of credit for it. But really came from Al Davis. But
Right.
Just do your job, right? And that's the same with the coaches and everybody else. We each got a position to coach. Just do your job. And our kids are starting to buy into that and understand that. And you don't have to worry about other people. Just take care of yourself.
Take a look at your jersey, and that's the number that you got to worry about.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. And then that's why our defense has improved, and that's probably our biggest attribute this year is we've improved every game.
Yeah.
And it's, yes, it was nice getting W's. It helps. It solves a lot of things, getting some wins. But our guys, regardless of our record, have improved every week, and that's why they're fun to watch.
And that's where the confidence level is starting to go a notch or two each week.
Yep. And so we got to just understand that we don't hang on the last 2 wins. We got to forget about it. And we talked about that, saying, yep, it was great, but by Saturday it's over.
Yeah.
Because come Sunday we're worrying about Mary, you know, and so hopefully, our kids were ready to go, and I think they are and everything, but that's where we're at. We got to show up tomorrow night.
Get back at home, and the Saints are going to come marching in, and let's let them get back on their bus and hang on their heads
that'd
when
be
they
great.
leave tomorrow night about 9:30.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like that idea.
Coach, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate it again.
All right.
Coach Travis Engen joining us from the Highlander football team. Give them 7 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night. We'll be on the air at 6:45 with our pregame right here on the Highlander TV Network. And we'll be back with a wrap-up here on Coach's Corner from the Hack here on the Highlander TV Network. Back here on Coach's Corner here on the Highlander Activity Network. Great Thursday, great show here today, and we are again coming up here tomorrow night at our next game. There was supposed to be junior high football tonight, but that did get postponed. So we've got Highlander football tomorrow night here on the Highlander Activity Network as they take on the Bismarck St. Mary Saints at Hannah Field. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll be on the air at 6:45. That is our next broadcast. And again, if you are watching us, we do appreciate you joining us here on Coach's Corner and on the Highlander Activity Network. And let all of your friends and family know how they can watch us. You can just get to that YouTube page and search Valley City Highlander Activities. And we have all of our archived events there. Boy, watch that Tuesday night 5-setter with Fargo South. What a great match that was. The last home game, the game against South in football, and watch archived games and what's coming up in the future. We got our full schedule there on our YouTube page. I want to thank all of our guests here today, Carter Haas and Ada Gilbertson from Student Congress, Coach Matt Nielsen from Highlander Tennis, Joby Borg and Cynthia Clabo from Volleyball, Coach Deb Bilkey from Cross Country, and of course Coach Engen here from the Highlander football team. Ray Nelson, our camera operator, technical director, and executive producer here on Coach's Corner this morning. We'll be back again next week, 7:30. Or actually, next week we have a different location. We're going to be at Washington Elementary next week as we're going to be talking Thunder football. They've got their big Thunder Bowl coming up next Thursday at Hannah Field, and we're going to be over at Washington Elementary doing the show next week, talking to some of those Thunder football players and coaches getting ready for their big Thunder Bowl game in a week. So that'll be next Thursday. We'll be at Washington Elementary. Until then, Paul McDonald saying thanks for joining us here on Coach's Corner on the Highlander Activity Network.